What's up, guys? It is Flashwing. We are back today. I've got a completely different, unexpected, but I hope very helpful vlog for you guys today. We're going to be talking about some weight loss stuff as well as some habit-forming items, and it all has to do with consequences. So let's get started. Today we're going to focus exclusively on aspects of weight loss. I'm really focusing on those of you out there who are like me, you big guys out there, maybe you former big guys who are still having problems, or you big guys that have yet to take the journey to improve your own health. I am not an expert. I don't have all the answers. I don't know all the questions. The purpose of all of this is to simply share what I'm doing, what's working for me, and to provide some level of inspiration to those of you out there who might be lacking that in your own life. And I'm doing that by showing my own example and talking about my own pitfalls. The last 2 weeks in particular have been terrible, absolutely terrible. And I have been struggling with a weight plateau for probably about at least the last 2 months, if not perhaps the last 3 months. I made significant progress about a month ago, and it's dropped off since then. And I have really been finding it difficult to regain the discipline that I had. And there's only so much willpower that I have throughout the entire day, and I spend it on a lot of different things. Trying to find the willpower to keep my diet in order is incredibly difficult. It's very taxing. And it's even more difficult when the only person that's really holding me accountable is myself. That's not a failure on anyone else's part but me. I saw something on Facebook for an advertisement. Let me get the box here. For something that is a controversial product, and it is called the Pavlok. All right, so what is this? It is a wristband that administers electric shocks for various types of behavior, and I believe the fancy psychology term is aversion therapy. I'm going to preface this with the fact that I'm not necessarily endorsing or sponsoring this product. No one from Pavlok is paying me to talk about this. This is 100% on my own accord. I am talking to you about what I am doing. I don't recommend this device. This is something that you have to, this is a decision that you have to come to on your own, because this type of a product is very controversial. If you've never heard of Pavlok, and if you do any searching for it, a lot of what you're going to find right now is the owner of Pavlok, who was on Shark Tank probably about 9 months, 10 months ago, something like that. And it was a little bit of a train wreck. Everybody's got their opinions, and a lot of people have been applying what they saw about the owner and applying it directly to the product, and they're trying to basically project their own feelings about what happened on Shark Tank onto the product itself. Over this past week, when I was excessively overeating, it was like all of the discipline and willpower just went out of my body. I was eating pizza. I was eating excessive amounts of candy. I was eating myself until I was stuffed. Like I was doing things that got me to 300 pounds. Whether it was because I was bored or it was because I was stressed out, for whatever reason, I was finding comfort in overeating, and it was out of control, just absolutely out of control. And as a result of that, I gained 10 pounds over the past 2 weeks. I went from being around 240s to now I'm at 250 pounds. This is absolutely unacceptable. Getting from 250 to 240 took me months. It took months and months and months of work to slowly whittle my way down, because I'm already not doing what I need to do. I was discussing with some friends of mine, I was talking about things when I was a kid, and we were discussing school behavior and how when I was really little, so if I was like in first grade, I was taking asthma medication that was basically causing me to be hyperactive. It was later discovered by doctors that the medication was known to cause hyperactivity, but I was already a very energetic kid, and I had no self-control. I mean, I know it's strange, but I was actually quite a talker. I know, right? It's just a shocker, right? I couldn't control myself. I was talking constantly in class. I was being yelled at by teachers, and I wouldn't stop because there were no consequences for my behavior. Some kids learn in a variety of different ways. Unfortunately, one of the few things that I understood was pain. And when I spent a couple of years in private school, because the public schools refused to basically readmit me unless I was put on Ritalin. And my parents were absolutely adamant about not putting me on Ritalin because it turns kids into zombies. And so we found a private school that allowed paddling. I'm not here to endorse or condone paddling. I'm just telling you how it was. And I got sent to the principal's office twice for excessive talking in class. And after the second round of paddling, it completely stopped. And then finally that school closed after my second grade year, and I went back to public school in third grade. And I was one of the best behaved kids in class because I had learned that self-control through a little bit of physical punishment. So I was thinking about that, and the reason why that story is important is because it reminded me of how I handle my own behavior and how I tend to learn to get rid of habits. And that was a habit, of course, was talking. And it all stems from a complete lack of consequences. When it comes to changing your health, one of the things that I love about my gym is accountability. But at the end of the day, despite the accountability that exists, the people at the gym can't be with me 24 hours a day. They don't see what I'm eating. They don't see how much of it I'm eating. It's all up to me. And, of course, the big question that seemed to have been proposed is, if you have the discipline to essentially push the button and shock yourself, then why don't you have the discipline to stop? I don't think that they're one and the same. I think that it takes a greater amount of discipline to stop yourself from doing something than it is to be upset about it and to administer punishment to yourself. I do believe strongly that it's going to come down to the individual for this stuff. So that's why I'm being very upfront with saying, I'm not telling you this is going to work. I'm talking to you about why it's going to work for me. I'm done screwing around. I'm done playing games with myself. It is clear that I lack the that I lack the discipline to follow through, and so now I need some type of physical punishment, I guess you could say, in order to get me across the extra mile. Despite numerous different changes that I've made, it's the availability and it's the fact that no one knows. No one knows if I eat a bunch of candy, or no one knows if I, have a bunch of soda, or, I can just pretend like I'm doing the right thing. And, I'm just not losing weight as fast, or I'm gaining muscle, or any number of other excuses that I feed myself. But one of the other things that Pavlok has advertised as helping with is nail biting. I'm not going to show you my nails because, to be perfectly honest, they're disgusting. I've seen worse nail biters, but I'm pretty bad. And I have bitten my nails ever since I was, as long as I can remember, I've bitten my nails. And that has been a habit that I have not been able to break. And I've tried like nail polish remover or nail, whatever. I don't care. But now one of the things I've noticed right off the bat is the shocks help me become aware of when I'm doing things. And I've been surprised to see how subconscious my nail biting is. I just do it. I sit down at the computer and I'm watching YouTube videos, and all of a sudden, before I know it, I got a finger in the mouth and I'm biting nails. And so I've been disciplined enough to I'll hit the shock button and I'll feel the pain, and now suddenly I'm aware of the fact that I'm doing something. But it is a way for me to have consequences for actions that I'm undertaking. For those of you guys who are big guys out there, I know that based on what I've seen, not only with myself, but with other people who've come into the gym that I work out at, by and large, people don't tend to get involved in their own health improvement until there's some type of a problem. Like, we have a couple of guys who their doctors literally told them, if you don't change, if you don't lose weight, you're going to die. Like, the end of the story, within 5 years, you're going to be dead. That's a pretty scary thing. And I won't bore you with the details of it, but very simply, the human nature is such that we hate change. By and large, liking change is a very unusual thing. And only when the pain of changing is less than the pain of staying the same, that's the only time that people are going to change. Because let's face facts, dieting and exercise are not easy. They're not pleasant. I don't get up every day going, yeah, man, I'm going to the gym, dude. It's going to be great. It's hard freaking work. Every day it's a fight. Every day it's a fight to get out of bed. Every day it's a fight to get in the car. But as time has gone on, and I've been doing it now for over a year, it's significantly easier. In fact, it's harder to sit and convince myself not to go. But that's because I've formed a habit. Because unless I had someone there to slap me across the face or to slap food out of my hand every time I go to overeat or I eat something that I'm not supposed to have, it's just not going to work. Because right now, my perception is there are no consequences for eating badly. Because I'm 34 years old. I've been blessed with excellent health. I don't have any major defects. I don't have any diseases. And I'm not like knocking on death's door from a health perspective. So, hey, I mean, what's the big deal, right? I could just eat whatever I want as much as I want. Yeah, I gain a little bit of weight, but I'll lose it later. Or I'll go to the gym and I'll work twice as hard this week. Any number of other excuses that I feed myself as a way to avoid the consequences of what I'm doing because it's hard work. So that's why I'm taking this route. There's a lot of controversy from people. They talk about, well, people could just take it off or they could just get rid of it. Yes, you can. You absolutely can. It's still a conscious choice in some cases to deal with this device. So you have to want to change in order for it to work. And I think that that's probably the strongest statement I could make about how it's going to work for me. The only reason I'm bringing this up to you is because these are the consequences that I need. That doesn't mean that those of you out there who are struggling with the same type of weight loss and health improvements are struggling with the same types of consequences, but it is something that you need to be aware of. It's something that I think you guys should try and think about. Think about why it is that you're doing what you're doing. Think about when you're doing it, what are the conditions around you doing certain behaviors that you don't like, because that's the steps that you have to take to, you need that awareness before you can change it. In order to fix the problem, you have to be aware of the problem in the first place. And simply saying, well, I overeat, or well, I eat too many of the bad things. Yes, but do you know why you do it? Do you know what the conditions are? Like I said, for me, my diet and the food that I have available here in the house is very controlled. My friends probably hate me for it because they come over. I don't have anything to drink and I have nothing to eat because I can't control myself in my own home because I could just go butt wild. And man, I mean, there's no one here. No one would know. I could down a whole pizza if I want. Who's going to know? I'm a grown-ass man. I'm an adult. No one knows. Nobody can tell me what to do, right? That's it. Just some brief talk about consequences. Those of you out there who are struggling with this, I'm absolutely on board with you. I'm here for you as much as I can to provide encouragement and information because I know exactly what it's like to be in your shoes. So I wish you all the best in your own journey. Thank you for watching, guys. And as always, we will see you out there.